we will start our chapter 14. It's fluid flow through porous media. I think I already discussed about the basics of fluid flow through porous media, but I did not discuss the theory associated with it. Mainly, I covered the derivation part in the last class. So let us revisit those presentation what I have made, and let's look into this aspect very clearly. So as you can see here, this is a packed bed of some sort of granules are here, and it's a porous in nature because the granules are packed at a certain packing fractions. So it is what happens when a liquid percolates through this open space and try to pass through from one side to another side. There will be always some sort of resistance due to the effect of that granular material. Okay, so what happens? The velocity, which are actually known as superficial velocity, which is nothing but interstitial velocity is equal to superficial velocity u equal to u naught by epsilon. Epsilon is the void fraction. Okay, so let us assume this the total the volume fraction of this spherical particle or granule is 1. So obviously it will be void fraction and solid fraction, right? If the void fraction is epsilon and solid fraction is c, total will be e plus epsilon plus c1. So what happens when the fluid start moving through one side to another? If the interstitial velocity is u, here it is given here u. Okay, so the superficial velocity will be u naught equal to dv by dt by 1 over a, where 1 a is the cross-sectional area and dv by dt is the velocity gradient. Okay, so that is how you derive. Okay, and u is here actually interstitial velocity. So what is actually Darcy's law? Darcy said it is just like the Ohm's law. Darcy said that the flux, which is actually here the pressure gradient, right, is equal to the viscosity multiplied by the superficial velocity. Okay, so this is the resistance. dp by dt is actually the resistance, which dv by dt into 1 by a, it is actually the resistance, and that proportionality constant is actually mu by k, where mu is the viscosity and k is the permeability. Okay, which is having a unit of meter square. So this is actually called Darcy's law. Darcy's law is very much essential for fluid flow through porous media. I think all of you must be aware of slip casting. If you have remembered in our ceramic processing class, we talk about Darcy's law, because in ceramic processing also same thing happened. You have a solid particle suspended into a liquid, and if you have plaster of Paris mold, the moment you pour that liquid slurry, the liquid has to sift through that the granular material, like the porous solid particle, and get absorbed by the mold, right? So it's actually fluid flow phenomena. Same principle of Darcy's law can be applied. So here the Darcy's law del P by L is the pressure gradient. Okay, that is the pressure drop over an unit length, and dV by dt by 1 over A is like the resistance, and mu by k is the proportionality constant. Let's look into this in deeply. It was empirically derived by Darcy, as you can see. So del P by L is the driving potential. Okay, because this is the flux, the liquid flux, which is proportional to the resistance into flow. The flow is dV by dt by 1 over A, and the resistance is mu by k, similar to the Ohm's law. Okay, if you remember Ohm's law, I think I have, you can see here, I have just given a comparison for both this Darcy's law and Ohm's law. The right hand side is the Ohm's law, which is actually potential is between two leads are actually R into I, right? You know that, right? Resistance into current. Similarly, here you can see the Darcy's law del P by L. Here is the driving potential is equal to mu by k and times del V by dt by 1 over A, right? Here mu by k is there. Mu by k is the resistance, and del V by dt times 1 by over is the flow rate. So how do you know that what to use for permeability in order to predict the pressure drop? So permeability, there is an equation which is known as Kozeny-Kármán equations. We'll come to that, but you can see that the most important concept here, that in Darcy's law, you have to know the parameters here. The parameters are mu, k, dV by dt, and 1 over A, right? dV by dt you can easily determine. Okay, the flow rate, you know, you can measure using a manometer or some sort of devices connected with that porous bed. area also known, velocity, viscosity of the fluid can be known, but K you have to determine, right? So K is unknown, which is actually been determined from, permeability is determined from the Kozeny-Kármán equations. As you can see here, the Darcy's law is here, given del P by L, mu by K, dV by dt 1 over A, but K has a relationship. It is actually here, it is K, here it is S. The relationship is, this is actually one inverse of K. It is called K into 1 minus epsilon whole square times A square divided by epsilon cube, where epsilon is the Voigt fraction, okay, and K is the Kozeny constant and S is the specific surface area. So here you can see this K, you just substitute the value of K here, the equation becomes like this. So this is called Kozeny-Kármán equation. Now we have substituted the value of K, which is permeability, right? Now Kozeny constant, which is K, generally we consider it's a spherical particle. So for spherical particle, Kozeny constant is 5. So you can substitute this value of K is equal by 5. So the equation becomes 5 into 1 minus epsilon whole square times S square divided by epsilon cube. This is S square. Okay, remember this is S square. It has been a little bit off. This is the equation, same equation. You can use it for deriving the del P by L. So we have to, I think I have derived the expression that U equal to del P by L d square by 32 mu. If you remember, this was the Hagen-Possibile equation what we have discussed in the pressure drop through a fluid flow, through a laminar fluid flow through a porous media, right? We have discussed it in our class. So how do we derive it? So here actually D is actually the diameter of the channel. Okay, assume the porous medium is a bed of parallel channel of hydraulic mean diameter. So we can actually D was considered for one spherical particle. Now if it is many particles are there, we can consider it's a porous medium, bed of parallel channel of hydraulic mean diameter dm. Okay, so dm is actually here the mean diameter, the hydraulic mean diameter. So let's see how you can derive this expression. So Kozeny proposed that dm, that is the hydraulic mean diameter, is actually volume of bed filled with fluid divided by the weighted surface area. That's we have discussed. If you substitute this value, the volume get cancelled from top and bottom, and then it becomes epsilon divided by SB 1 minus epsilon, right? That is the expression for hydraulic mean diameter. And I think in the very first slide I discussed it. Interstitial velocity and superficial velocity are related by U equal to U naught by epsilon, right? So the superficial velocity is here U naught, right? But we generally consider U, that is the interstitial velocity, because it's a fluid actually passed through the porous channel which are available, right? So originally the Reynolds number is dV rho by mu or du rho by mu. So we can substitute the value we have derived. D can be substituted by dm, that is the hydraulic mean diameter, and U can be substituted by U naught by epsilon, that is the here is the interstitial velocity. So let us see how this expression becomes. I have already discussed dm relationship is epsilon by SB by 1 minus U. So if we substitute this value, Reynolds number will become actually dm instead of d you have put dm, that is epsilon by SB 1 minus epsilon. U was substituted by U naught by epsilon, that is U is actually interstitial velocity, here U naught is the superficial velocity, and rho by mu. So actually rearrange this term, the Reynolds number or modified Reynolds number is become U naught rho divided by SB 1 minus epsilon mu. So this is very much important for Reynolds number for fluid flow through porous media, and generally Reynolds number is less than 2 for a streamlined flow. Okay, that you should remember, less than 2. So this is, people have found that for fluid flow through porous media, the expression is like that. The modified Reynolds number, which is this one, Reynolds number, it can be given by this expression, and then there is another term is called friction factor given by R by rho U square. The relationship is this, and then it can be divided in two parts. One is the Kozeny-Kármán equation, and then the Kármán correlation. Okay, that is Argand equations. So these expressions are given into this next slide. As you can see, the Kármán equation is this: R by rho U square 5 by RE plus 0.4 divided by Reynolds number to the power 1, which is valid here in this region. And the second expression is Argon correlation, that is R by rho square 4.17 by RE plus 0.29, which is applicable into the when the Reynolds number is greater than 2. Okay, these regions. Okay, though the equation is given here, but this equation actually for the carbon equation. Okay, this is the carbon relationship. So these two factors are actually very much important. And I think you must remember this expression, because this will be very useful for deriving numericals, which I have already discussed previously. Now, friction factor plot, we have to convert the shear stress into pressure drop. How do you do that? So we know the drag force, right? That is the radius and the particle surface area, that is weighted area, right? We have already discussed the shear stress is actually drag force. I mean, shear stress can be converted into drag force, that is radius into particle surface area. So surface area of the particle is what? That is specific surface area into 1 minus epsilon into L by A. That is the bed. L is the length of the bed and A is the area of the bed. That has become volume, right? The total volume of the bed into S into 1 minus C. So that is actually surface area of the particles. Pressure drop of the fluid is given by del P, and the force by the fluid is given by pressure drop into area, that is del P into A over the void fraction which is available, right? That is epsilon. So if you balance this, the force is actually R into particle surface area, right? So that is given by R into S 1 minus epsilon LA is equal to del P A epsilon. So what happens? The R becomes epsilon by S1 minus E del P by L. Okay, so this is actually very important. This is the friction factors. Okay, and this R actually a parameter which are used for friction factor. Okay, I think you have already seen. Let me go back to that. Here this R. Okay, this is the friction factor, the R. Okay, it's a parameter which is actually nothing but epsilon by S1 minus E del P by L. And the Reynolds number already have discussed, right? So friction factor plot is very important, and in streamline it is you mainly use Kozeny-Karman equation, and if it is greater than 2, then you can use Argon equation. Okay. Now we have given a deep bed filtration. So this is actually a filtration problem. We have actually what happens in industry by froth flotation method. Froth flotation method, you collect the suspended particle. You can see there are a lot of anthracite coal particles mixed with sand and gravels. So you pass a liquid, and the suspended particle, which are actually light in nature, will suspend, and then it can be collected by using an effluent, right? By using the supernatants. So this principle of deep bed filtration is being used for collecting of fine particles. Okay, you can see that you can use different size of particles. This is a bacillus 2 micron, diatom 30 microns, aluminum or iron flux 10 micron. Okay, sand grains which are 500 microns. So what happens when the fine particles are very fine? They will go to the surface, and then you can use some sort of collecting agent, some xanthates which are available. The xanthate can be used to collect that some sort of chemicals to collect the particles. So this is a real life application which are actually given to understand the fluid flow phenomena through porous bed or porous media. This concept of fluid flow or through packed bed and porous bed being utilized for collecting fine particles. So how do you collect this? The concentration of the fine particle can be given by this equation dC by dz equal to minus lambda c. Lambda is a filtration constant which is given by the start of the filter. This is the expression. So if you integrate, then this becomes C equal to C naught exponential minus lambda z. You don't need to understand this. This is a deep bed. I'm not going to go into details. You just remember these equations. I will not. I mean, this is not going to be useful for you also. But again, since it was here, I presented. Better you remember this expression. It will be used if somebody is interested for filtration, deep bed filtration and collection of fine particles. Most important is this: the head loss, which is happened due to the separation of the fine and coarse particle, which is given by dH by dz equal to the same expression for Kozeny-Karman equation, and then it is 1 by rho g. Okay, U naught times 1 by rho g. This is a fluidization phenomena. So we have different size of fluid particles. The particles in bed moving apart as fluid flow rate is increased. So actually what happened, there is a porous, there is a packed bed and there is a fluidized bed, right? Initially when the bed is packed bed, the fluid will percolate through the channels, but the moment the resistance between the fluid and the particles become equal, the particle will remain suspended and will start moving at the same velocity with the fluid. That is known as fluidized bed. So this is actually given by this expression, fixed bed and fluidized bed. As you can see, at a certain critical velocity it happens. The moment we reach, the pressure drop gets counter. I mean, pressure drop becomes zero, or not zero. Pressure drop become equal, and the fluid starts moving at the same velocity with the fluid. The particles start moving at the same velocity with the fluid. There is no fluid drag exist beyond fixed bed or packed bed. Okay. The bed weight is given by this expression, also been solved. You can look into my note, and the fluid drag is given by this expression. This is U naught. The naught has been moved here. Okay. And I think this expression is known, right? And this is called the bed weight. L into length of the bed, rho s is the density of the particle, minus rho is the density of the fluid, g into 1 minus epsilon. And this is the fluidization velocity, minimum fluidization velocity. This expression also been derived. You can do it, g rho s minus rho u epsilon cube mu k 1 minus epsilon is v square. During fluidization, superficial velocity can be, for a given porosity, can be given U naught equal to UT epsilon n. This is actually known as Richardson and Jackie equation. This is same as like what I have discussed. Here U naught is the superficial velocity, UT is the interstitial velocity. Okay, so it's just rearrange this term, UT equal to U naught by epsilon. Okay, this is what I just discussed, the cyclone separator, which are being used to collect fine particles in industrial scale. I think a couple of students in Tata Steel, they are doing the same project, collection of fine particle. So you can, I mean, if you are interested, this is actually happened by bubbling or aggravated phenomena. The fine particle suspended, moves towards the surface and then collected using cyclone separator. So I think this is the basic equations. You read this slide and